It's the Andy and Dave Daily right here on the Muskegon Channel. I'm Andy O'Reilly. There's Dave Cackley, who's beanieing it today.
Yeah. They don't like to heat this part of the station for some reason, so I have to wear a hat.
Well,
because all the heat just comes cascading out of the top of my head, and that's not a good thing.
No.
My old bones can't take it.
Not only that, but anything coming out of your head is a tax on your system because it takes a lot of firepower to be.
Yes.
It really
absolutely.
Does. It is. So, I got to turn my thing up a little bit here. You know, people, first observation today, and I was going to bring this up yesterday, but I needed a little mental health day there.
Right.
I think, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I think I'm an observer of the human, right?
Yes.
I notice things, I observe, I make notes. Sometimes I bring
very
them
astute.
Up. Very astute.
You're very astute.
That's a good word. Big word. Thank you. I think, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I think of the female persuasion, I think ankles have become the new cleavage. What say you, Dave?
Good. What are you talking about?
Have you seen?
What are you talking about? Are you talking about in what men view or just
No, I think women
how it's portrayed?
Are now dressing to the idea that no matter what the temperature is, if they've got shoes on and mini bitty socks and just enough of their ankle showing, that's the new fashion statement to show how smoking hot they are. And look at my skinny little ankles. I'm flawless. That's their new thing.
Usually,
have you noticed?
There's usually yes. Yeah, I think there is some truth to that, and I think and usually there's like a tattoo or something.
Well, maybe
that they're showcasing, and it's a lot more mainstream than it used to be. Absolutely, I don't think it's on the cleavage level yet, but I do think your point is noted, and I think there is some truth to what you're saying. Yes,
I want people to start taking note. And putting a little check mark in their daily planner or whatever they do. Every time they see, I mean, it's 6 degrees out. And women are walking around with, oh, look at my ankles. Look how perfect my ankles are. And I think it's the new status symbol. I think it's the new way that they are trying to just, if we were in the animal kingdom, they would present, they'd like, oh, I'm in heat. Now it's like, they show off how hot their ankles are, and that's the new attractive thing.
But
I'm onto something.
But men, by and large, don't care about that.
Oh yes, they do.
I don't care. Oh, we really?
Yeah.
Have you ever in your life
look at everything?
Ever go? Oh my God! I mean, you notice that, but that's not something your eyes like. That's not the first thing you like. I could not tell you. I could not identify any girl I've ever dated by her ankles.
Well, no, but upon quick glance, when you meet somebody and you give them that first, like this,
I have never noticed ankles ever.
Well, from now on, start because but they're signaling. Women are signaling now.
That has become more of a thing, but for some reason, and this is what, because women, when it comes to dress, seem to dress for other women. They want other women to notice them for some reason because that's what it's all about. And women are catty and like, oh my God, yeah. There's a lot more than yeah. We generally speaking. Again, this is I'm speaking in generalities.
Of course,
men don't really look at that. I mean, not that you don't notice it if it's there. Okay, oh, that's nice, but that's not one of the top 4 or 5 things
you're
going to notice on a woman.
They're sneaking up on you with these ankles, and before you know it, it's going to be. Here's something to think about: investing.
Okay.
Find new ways to invest in ankle accoutrements because it's going to be a booming market.
Like what are you going to put on, like an ankle brace? I mean, I guess there are those. I think I'm not sure.
You could invent something that would isolate just the ankle area to shave. So if they wanted to be a Sasquatch higher or lower, they could just shave the ankle and leave the rest.
Just shave all of it.
Well,
come on, that's gross. I don't care. It's gross.
I couldn't agree more, but I'm just saying that's what they do.
But there are guys, in fairness, there are obviously men with foot fetishes. So does that extend to the ankle? If you're a weirdo with a foot fetish, and there's nothing wrong with being a weirdo with a foot fetish. I'm not judging you for being a weirdo with a foot fetish. I'm just curious, does that extend north to the ankle, or is it exclusive to the foot and the toes? I don't know.
Yeah.
One of the few things Alexa and I agreed on in our relationship was feet are gross.
Feet are
by
gross.
and large. Feet are gross. So I don't get that. But again, if you do have that type of fetish, I'm just curious if it does extend to the ankle, and if that is why more women are showcasing the ankle and whatever they have on it, or whatever they think is attractive about it.
Well, I'm telling you, at some point, 20 years ago, the conversation in the 8th grade turned into, we're going to start showing more ankle. And
okay.
It's part of the repertoire.
Mm-hmm. I have noticed it. Okay. I have noticed that's more of that seems to be more of a thing than it was when we were younger,
right.
or than it was 5 or 10 years ago.
Well, see, that's me being astute. Now, observation 2.
Very good.
Everybody's pissing and moaning about eggs, right?
Yeah, because eggs are awesome. The only food I've ever acquired a taste for, and they're harder to find and more expensive now. So yeah, that's an issue.
Now, yes. Okay, so but we still know that 3 eggs are about $1. So if you want to eat a 3-egg omelet,
it's still relative. You're right.
So
it's still
it's inconvenient. It sucks, and and you got to feed your kids these things.
Yes.
And everybody wants their kids to eat garbage. So when you have to feed them healthy, it's a pain in the ass. Do you want to see what gold really looks like in 2023?
Yeah, let's see.
Do you really want to see what gold looks like?
Okay. Part of me is regretting saying yes, but go ahead.
That, my friend, is what gold looks like.
A reel-to-reel?
A 2-track reel-to-reel blank tape, my friend.
Why?
Well, I got a 2-track machine, and I want to keep it so I can run it, and I can't find the 1 2-track reel that I have, so it's like, well, I better get something to make this thing work once in a while. So I got online, and take a guess.
I have no idea.
And you got to keep in mind that we grew up cutting these things up for fun.
See, I didn't have to cut them.
Oh, I did.
I didn't have to cut those. I got in when I got into radio, when it came to that type of thing. It had just started going digital, so we still had a reel-to-reel machine, and I would use it, but I never did the physical cut tape thing. I could
get a phone call, recorded, edited, cut out all the swears, get it taped back together, and on the air in under 3 minutes. Mm-hmm. Okay, so we used to cut these things up and crap all over the ground.
Right.
Whatever. Take a guess what one of these runs now.
I'm probably going to be off $100.
118.
Whoa.
Can you imagine having to buy these things in bulk today? We used to in radio?
Good Lord, no.
$118 for a piece.
Well, it's like everything's digital. Everything's digital now. So I'm not buying your that's gold now thing, but maybe I'm wrong.
Well, I mean,
it's obviously it's a
throwback
thing. It's like exactly.
So
why do you want lesser? I get throwbacks because I perpetually live in the past. I was watching old episodes of Rules of Engagement, which is one of the last funny comedies of all time.
I never even heard of it.
Heart to Heart. Oh, had David Spade on it. It had some other people you would recognize. Is that Oliver Hudson, Kate Hudson's brothers on it. It was a funny show. You could never ever put it on the air today because it was too good and too edgy. And it played into stereotypes, whatever. But I watched that, and I watch old episodes of Heart to Heart from the mid-'80s. That's what I've just been blowing through. So I understand living in the distant past and the recent past, but the idea that you want something of lesser quality, like a reel-to-reel machine as opposed to a digital, or the same thing when you're talking about, but the record just sounds better with all of the hiss and the shit. I'm sorry, I don't get it.
Oh, and before we roll into news, as soon as you're bringing up retro and edgy and all that other kind of stuff, I watched You People last night, which is the Eddie Murphy, Jonah Hill thing on Netflix.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Retro, edgy, and all that other kind of stuff. It felt like an after-school special where they used the N-word as much as they could.
Okay. Was it good? Or
Eh.
was it? Did it feel a little forced?
like I said, it had this vibe to it, like an after school special. The ending was cute, but
okay,
it was nothing but stereotype one side, stereotype the other side, and the clash of it. And in all honesty, I thought the N word was trying to go away. And no matter who's using it, let it go away. You know?
I've always had a weird. It's always felt off to me to hear, like, even when I was a kid and I heard it, I'm just like, this. I don't like. I don't. It's just a word I don't like the sound of. To me, it just sounds bad.
Yeah. What is bad?
I don't like the sound of the word, but I get the spirit behind it because, and George Carlin used to joke about it. There was a great George Carlin bit about the word and how and the context and everything. And I agree and understand all that. At the same time, I just never liked the sound of it.
Yeah.
Personally, again, I get because I'm a big, you know me, big freedom of speech absolutist. So should you be able to? Yeah. I don't particularly like the sound. I don't use it. So, but that's me.
Yeah.
And other people can feel differently, and God bless them. So there you go.
Anyway, so now I got a 2-track reel. Thank you.
All right, very good.
You gonna do some news here?
Get into it? Let's do it. The U.S. population is heading south. Well, the Northeast and Midwest lost residents in the past year. The South has shown gains up to 1.3 million. 6 of the 10 U.S. states with the biggest growth in 22 were in that region, led by Texas, Florida, North Carolina, and Georgia. I think, warmer climate, just kind of more of a feeling of normalcy. And honestly, people in the South, at least this has been my experience, just nicer in general. And that could be due to the fact that you're not dealing with what we're dealing with right now, which is 5 degrees and just the hunched over cold, and you don't really make eye contact. But then you contrast that with, you would think, California, but not, it's the cost of living, and it just feels like almost another country in some aspects. And the fact, and I can speak to this living out there for almost a year, way back when, there is a plasticity to it. It's where the people you're encountering aren't real. They're always kind of putting on a face. They're putting on a facade, which we all do to some extent in certain circumstances and certain relationships. But yeah, there's a phoniness to it. So I get why the South is making gains. It makes sense to me.
Okay.
So anyway. Okay.
I would just say,
say
because NASCAR's there, but we know that's down too.
There you go. Well, you know what? That's an aspect of it. I'm sorry, I glossed over that. Good way to add. 2 thumbs up. All right. Stress is leading to sleep disorders for parents. Shocker. We needed a study about this, evidently. Stressed out parents don't sleep well. This, according to the latest study. The rates of anxiety as well as depression were about 4 times higher in parents who were stressed. Okay, yeah, so obviously if you're stressed out, you're not going to sleep that well. That does impact your sleep. It's all in how you deal with it, how you handle it, whether it's prayer, whether it's meditation, whether it's, just trying to, I talked about this.
Bag of weed.
I think it was last week. I didn't say bag of weed. I did not say bag of weed.
Man. I mean, here we are, it's 2023. And the country basically just said, "Oh, the hell with it. Let's legalize weed because people can't take shit anymore."
We can't. No, we have to numb it. And it doesn't matter whether it's that or it's something else or something to turn your entire life into a diversion because you can't deal with reality. None of us can.
Dude.
We all suck at. Think about it. And we don't really. Our reality isn't nearly as bad as people 50, 100 years ago. It's not even the same ballpark. It's not the same life.
I can dive into painful reality with people, and I mean shockingly painful reality, and help pull them out of it. And I'm pretty good at it.
Yes, you are.
It's never fun. It's never easy, but the level of distress and the level of anguish and the level of, I think right now, where we are as a society, I think right now we are in a worse place than we were at the height of the pandemic because we're trying to sort things out. We're trying to decompress a little bit from this. We found out things about people we didn't realize. We're reassessing different things about our lives. We're reassessing different things about people we thought we knew better.
Right.
I think that we are truly in a worse mental state as a people than we were at the height of the lockdown. I
think you're probably right about that. I think we've lost trust in a lot of institutions. We've lost trust in our friends and family. We've let stupid things like who somebody voted for divide friends and family members, which you never would have thought of that.
And I want to point something out.
It's dumb.
I want to point something
stupid.
out. There is a great documentary on PBS right now that people need to go watch. And it's going to help out with the source of a lot of this angst and frustration. It goes back to when they first started to talk about cigarettes needing, when they first needed to start talking about cigarettes needing to be talked about as cancer causing. And the tobacco industry found the way to create the back and forth. They create doubt. All they need to do was float the idea out there of we're just not sure. And that has fallen into any kind of situation where if you want people to really start to question things, cast doubt on things. It's a fascinating documentary how they went about this. And it's repeated time and time again. And it's done by people who want to profit over what's right. And
the tobacco company lied to increase their profits, and that's when there's money.
They did not lie, and they come right out and tell you in this documentary that they never told you a lie. They created enough doubt to make a bulk of people go, "Well, I just think they're full of shit, so I'm going to keep smoking."
I would say this. Yes, you're right. You're right. I would say this. It's a little different now because there is good reason to doubt a lot of the stuff we hear now. There's so much good reason because, again, the powers that be are not the veil has been lifted off alleged experts, and you name the field, whether it's politics, whether it's health and human services, medical profession, whatever, the pharmaceutical companies, the money. The billions upon billions of dollars that people are raking in off this, that, and the other has led to that. It's as old as follow the money. Follow the money, and you will find out. You will find the corruption, and that does lead to doubt. That does, and in fairness, on the other side, it should lead to doubt. It should. It should. That doesn't mean trust the tobacco companies, because I sure as hell don't.
Right.
They're poison mongers. Somebody did a great bit about this years ago. It was the tobacco companies were lying, but we kind of knew they were lying all along. We kind of knew they were lying. But now the people who shouldn't be lying, we don't expect to be lying, have been lying all along. So that has created this chasm, has created the distrust, and they have nobody to blame but themselves. So don't blame us. Don't blame the people for distrust. You lied, or you were wrong, or you misinformed, whatever word choice you want to use. So it ain't on us, it's on you.
There you go.
So that's where I put it. Finally, Muskegon woman hit the century mark yesterday. Daisy Jones turned the big 100 on Monday. Jones has lived more than 80 years in the Heights. She was a local business owner and known for providing rides to church and hospitals for those in need. So happy belated birthday, Daisy. I think about it, just what this woman has experienced and seen in a century on this planet, and the vast majority of it, obviously, in Muskegon Heights. I think it's very cool and a life to be celebrated. So
we wish
happy
her
belated birthday.
A very happy birthday on Positively Muskegon, and the whole community followed. So it was great.
That is awesome. Sports! The Mavericks beat the Pistons 111-105. Wings were off. That's sports.
All right. How do you like my new dimmers here?
Dude, I love those glasses. I think you should wear them all the time.
Well, seeing far away
frames
is
your
kind of hard
face well.
But seeing them up close, boy, this is nice. This is like having Cadillacs for eyes. All right, dude. Down in Africa.
They're cool.
All right. Are you down in Africa?
All right.
600.
I'll try.
Species that need protection include this animal Africa has fewer of them than their shorter pal, the elephant.
And their shorter pal? Shorter pal. I'm going to guess.
Watch this move.
Okay. They're shorter pal, so we're looking for a tall animal, and I got to go with giraffe.
You would be 100% correct, sir. 27,000. You're in the hole far enough for a quality used car. Congratulations.
Oh, nice. I'll need one in a few years.
See you tomorrow there,
Or an hour.
All right. Later.
See ya!
Happy Tuesday, Muskegon. We have more flurries on the way today with very cold temperatures arriving later in the week. So let's look at your forecast brought to you by Trinity Health. Your weather headlines show that we will have flurries today, like I said, so similar to what happened on Monday with little impacts or no impacts with no accumulation either. And then sunshine will be possible on Wednesday, especially Wednesday and maybe even into Thursday. So that will be a nice change of pace before part of the polar vortex moves in on Friday, arriving Thursday night going into Friday, but most of it will be off to the northeast. Now temperatures today will be around what they were yesterday, with temperatures in the upper teens to around 20 degrees. So pretty cold day is expected, with wind chills likely in the single digits at times. And similar to Monday, Tuesday will also have a little bit of flurry activity, especially in the afternoon hours. You can see just a little bit of lake effect banding will be moving into West Michigan in the afternoon, so expect a little bit of flurry once again, but we're not expecting accumulation out of it. So to put it all together, your Tuesday will have a high of 19 degrees with cloudy conditions with a few flurries here and there, but no accumulation, like I said. And then overnight tonight we'll have a low of 14 as the clouds will begin to break up ahead of sunshine on Wednesday. And speaking of the sunshine, this is the cloud cover forecast on Wednesday, and you can see much of West Michigan will be seeing sunny skies during the morning hours on Wednesday, so that will be a nice change of pace, and that sunshine will likely linger into Thursday as well. Now the biggest weather story this week will be the polar vortex on Friday, as it will be moving off to our northeast and definitely impacting the northeast of the United States. But here in the Great Lakes region, we'll just see a glancing blow from it as it moves off to our northeast, so that means temperatures will likely fall into the teens on Friday with lows in the single digits. So your 7-day forecast shows that sunshine on Wednesday after some flurries today, and then partly cloudy skies will linger into your Thursday as we warm up to around 30 degrees on Thursday. However, that Arctic front will move in Thursday night, bringing a little bit of lake effect snow and crashing temperatures with a high of only 14 on Friday. And then right after that, we'll have warmer air move back into the area for the weekend, with possibly a little bit of snow once again the following Sunday. And that's your Tuesday forecast brought to you by Trinity Health on the Muskegon Channel and I'm Cold Weather, and have a wonderful day today.